Okay, here's Blackest Night Batman. I love this cover. You got Batman, you got Robin, you got Red Robin fighting zombies. Fucking awesome. With flamethrowers. I mean, seriously, you got all the ingredients here. You got Batman, you got zombies, you got flamethrowers. I mean, if there was like some tits, that's the only thing that could possibly make it more awesome. So Blackest Night Batman #2, really cool issue, lots of action. I like here where they show the Black Lantern version of the ventriloquist, but there's also Black Lantern versions of some of the old Scarfaces, and I thought at first that they were saying, okay, well that settles it, that Scarface was sentient, but I think that the Black Lantern ventriloquist is just creating them with his ring. Deadman's in the issue, but unlike the first issue, he doesn't, dominate it. Like the first issue, you just basically could have called Blackest Night Deadman instead of Blackest Night, Batman. This one definitely focuses more on Batman. You got a little bit here with Commissioner Gordon. You got this crazy thing where Deadman leaps into Barbara Gordon, and she starts doing all this acrobatic stuff, which of course she's paralyzed, so that's kind of amusing. I really like this one. So far, out of all the tie-ins for Blackest Night, this particular issue is my favorite. Just that fucking Batgirl head, and then Magog. Just all the awesomeness in it, and it's well written. On top of that, Batman versus the Flying Graysons in the next, his parents, in other words, as well as Bruce's parents and Tim's parents. It's nuts. See, they're not just going after superheroes. Okay, here's Green Lantern Corps #40, and this also figures into Blackest Night. There's some interesting stuff here. Arisia is coming back from Daxam. Sodom Yad is supposedly dead, though I don't think he's really dead. Otherwise, the Black Ring would probably be coming for him. Then you got Kyle Rayner with Jade. And at first it seems like he is getting seduced by her. Like, he's like, oh my god, Jade is back. Because, not too long ago you found out Jade was his true love. But, he's just basically seeing what's up. I love this part. This part where the Lanterns find that the Guardians have been encased in some sort of goop. And the Alpha Lanterns swoop down and say, we have no record of the Guardians being on Oa, and now we're in charge. And I don't like the Alpha Lantern, so I think this part is awesome, where Selak just basically tells him to fuck off and says that he's in charge, and has this hologram from the Guardians saying that. Because Selak is awesome, and after Selak, Kyle Rayner and Guy Gardner would be in charge. So the Alpha Lantern's not too pleased about that. I also love where Selak acts like Guy Gardner. Here you have Kyle Rayner fighting Jade, the Black Lantern Jade. I think that's awesome. The art in this issue is absolutely spectacular. Green Lantern Corps has always had great art, but this is great. I love Bizd. Bizd is in it, and he died not too long ago, and then Kihan. I mean, it's just a really exciting issue. And then here's Soren Ignatu and Ayelan showing up at the end to hopefully, turn the tide of battle. Booster Gold #24, which continues the Rise of the Black Beetle storyline. This one's really good, although a little bit predictable. I mean, the whole thing with Lex Luthor working for Trigon, but then betraying him. I mean, that's obvious. Lex Luthor may be a bad guy, but he would always protect the Earth against some sort of supernatural or extraterrestrial threat, because he thinks he should be in charge of the Earth. I love this part with the demons made out of plasma, and just pretty solid issue. The Black Beetle gets an upgrade. I guess, I don't know, is he the Red Beetle now? I don't know what the deal with that is. And then Kyle Rayner becomes a Green Lantern in this flawed future. Kind of funny, huh? And then there's the whole thing where they redo the whole Deathstroke battle. Then there's the Blue Beetle backup feature, which is getting really good. Black Beetle shows up, and this is really weird part where he claims to be Hector, but of course he's not. And Blue Beetle, he had mentioned in previous issues that his Scarab is getting more violent, and he also mentions in this issue that he seems to be getting more violent, that there's something wrong with him. So we'll see how that works out. So overall, an enjoyable issue. When you get Booster Gold, you're basically getting Booster Gold and you're getting Blue Beetle, so that's pretty cool. And finally, here's Superman World of New Krypton #6. This is the halfway point for this series. I love the blurb here. Kneel before Kal-El, kneel before Zod. General Zod is still alive, although his injuries are pretty severe, and he actually puts Superman in charge of the Kryptonian army. which is pretty cool. I like this part where he urges the council not to go to war with Earth, but if you pay attention, as he's collapsing, he says, "Not yet." So I still think he's up to something, and I think Superman, I don't know if he even noticed that. Like, it'd be weird if he didn't. And it's kind of weird to see the interplay between Superman and Ursa now that he's in charge. And there's this part where he tells off his friend, who was basically a spy for Zod all along, and he just tells him to go fuck himself, basically. Which is kind of harsh for Superman, but I think he's living in a harsh world. Living on Krypton is taking its toll on him. And I think he's taking, too, being the leader of the military guild. And then here we have where they're fighting an intergalactic space battle, which is always great shit. I love sci-fi. You know, they got a big battle with Thanagar coming up. And in this particular ending here, we have Jupiter's moon Callisto, where they're going to move over to Krypton, is now on a crash course with Krypton. I kind of doubt that they're actually going to blow up Krypton, but that being said, pretty good issue. So, all in all, good haul. Nothing that I really didn't like. I think the Magog issue is a little weak, but it was a first issue, so we'll see. First issues usually suck. But there have been some exceptions lately from DC. By the way, a lot of people have asked me what I think about the whole thing with Marvel being bought out by Disney, and I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, if you think about it, DC is owned by AOL, so that's, you know, who cares? Actually, I think it'll be a good thing as far as the movies are concerned. People are freaking out thinking that they're going to censor the comics. That's not true. I mean, you know, Disney owns Miramax. They don't censor the movies, do they? So, that being said, DC is also restructuring. They're becoming DC Entertainment. And they have a new person in charge, who's a woman. And I actually been thinking about doing a video about that. There's a certain blogger out there who I absolutely can't stand. And she's somebody who kind of works for Marvel. And she has really like a hard-on for DC. Like, she just hates them so much. And she's always talking shit about them, and it's really kind of amusing, and I read the blog because it's funny to me, but she's been going on about how now that there's a woman in charge, you know, that it's all going to be better, and I just think she's a raging sexist. I might do a video about that blogger, who I won't name right now. It depends. She has a lot of fans, so I could take some heat for that. We'll see. Anyway, VMX out. I guess this is going to be 2 videos. We'll see you a little bit later. Next week with some more comic book reviews, and keep an eye out for that music trivia thing.